to my computer. Hey guys, Ernest Odell again. I just want to give you a real quick tutorial on how to use the real Yellow Pages online, yellowpages.com, as you see up here in the browser tool, in the browser bar. And we're going to go, instead of searching for businesses or categories, we're going to search by city. And let's choose Philadelphia again. Okay. Here we can go to categories. Now, you don't want to limit yourself to people that you want to call. You know, you can call massage parlors, attorneys, insurance companies, if that's a viable market, animal shelters, plumbers, good category. Doctors, auto repair shops, restaurants. So let's look at the restaurants in Philadelphia. Now, okay. Now this is really very easy because they're all listed right here. So as you're working and you've got all the information here on Yellow Pages, you got their phone number, that's all you need. Excuse me. And then I'm going to come up here and open up my DAC back office. If I can get my mouse to move. I think it's, there we go. And I log in to my back office, go to refer a friend funding, have that up and running and ready. And we're going to go back to yellowpages.com. So what I would do is I would call these people up, introduce myself, local. And mind you, you do want to be local. You know, try to work local. So if you're in Philadelphia, that's fine. If not, search for another city. And then, I just start with restaurants here in Lubbock. So I would take this number right here, pick up my phone, call them, introduce myself according to the script in the back office. I might modify it a little bit, make it shorter. But I'm pretty much a script purist. I'll stick to the script. They're very positive. I've had very, very few people tell me that they're not interested and I don't get cussed out. One thing I don't do is flag myself as a telemarketer. When I call them up and I introduce myself, I tell them my name is Ernest Odell. I don't ask them how they're doing. I just go straight into my pitch. I assume that the gatekeeper is either the owner, or if I ask for the owner, that's going to be a red flag. That's going to put up that wall of defense. They're going to think, oh no, another telemarketer. So, I would just go into my pitch and ask them if I could send them some information. After I let them know who I am, what I'm doing, and then hang up the phone. After I've got all their information by permission, I'll put the first name of the person in here and the email, okay? And then I send it. And the reason why I send it immediately and I don't fill it up with 5, you can send a maximum of 5. I'll go ahead and send that one because they may be sitting there at their computer waiting on the email. Now you can do more than 5 a day. I do make about 100 calls a day, and I probably make about 20 to 50 connections. And then, depending on their response, I might send out 5 or 10, maybe 20 emails a day. So the next one I would call on this list, if I was up in Philadelphia, I would call Marrakesh Restaurant, and there's Sin Sin again, and Bistro Romano. Just, call them, and one at a time, send them that automated email. You all know what it looks like. If you've run a test, send yourself a copy of it, and you'll see what the email looks like. Always ask permission. And then when you got them on the phone, they open it up, tell them, put that in the file folder where they can find it. If you ever need to, give me a call. If they have any more questions, they will definitely ask you. And be on top of your game, know your procedures. I've had a few that went straight into the pre-qualification form. I'd send them a link from the system up there at the back office, and some of we start the process here locally in Lubbock. If they decline, that's not your problem. Just send them the information. So just use yellowpages.com as another method of reaching out and calling people in your area. So let's say we want to change this over to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's see if I can't move this down out of my way. Click find. All right. I hate these advertisements because it slows my computer down. Restaurants in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here's another one. Hot breakfast tacos for less. If you don't have the number and everything on the page, if you click on that button, it'll take them to their website. It'll open up in a new tab. You might have to drill down to find their phone numbers. I've had a few people ask me, how'd you find my information? I tell them, I found you on yellowpages.com. Evidently, this one doesn't have a phone number, so I wouldn't even try to drill down on this. Here's one, Kaz's Chow House, okay, 918. Phone number, Cheesecake Factory. That's usually a corporate branch. I don't know if from what I've learned working in telemarketing, I don't call corporate branches because their big HR corporate divisions will pay for all their funding if they need it. Juniper looks like a private individual, privately owned small restaurant. I would definitely give them a call. Cattleman's Steakhouse. If I'm not mistaken, I think Cattleman's is a franchise. And I would definitely give them a call, at least find out if they're privately owned franchise and, if they need private funding, I'm here to help, but that's only if I'm in Tulsa. Now, having said that, I grew up in Tulsa. I can say, I'm a local boy. I went to East Central High School over on East 11th. I know a lot about Tulsa, so, they know I'm from here. It's kind of like Nick and Matt, they say they're from New Jersey. They got New Jersey numbers, even if they're living somewhere else. So same thing here. I can do this in Houston. I can do it in Dallas. I can do it in Tulsa. I can do it in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And some of these groups that I manage and own, I can do that. So here you go. Use yellowpages.com. Search for categories of beauty shops, auto services, restaurants, towing companies. Here's one. I've talked to a few towing companies, A&W Towing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, truck repair, J. Warner Body and Paint. These are probably good prospects. I can probably make 100 calls a day just in one city alone and talk to maybe 20 or 50 people, and I might get 5, 10, or 20 emails sent out. So I'm going to go ahead and open my toolbar back up. And if this has been beneficial for you, let me know in the comments below, and we'll be glad to share any information with you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and bid you adieu and talk to you later. Bye-bye.